Hello everyone, what's going on? Happy Mother's Day to everyone that's, celebrating it and doing their own thing in regards to that today. Hope it's all going well. But if you've seen the title on the video, you'll know that I'm not focusing on that today. I'm focusing on something entirely different today, which is Purple Day. Now, some of you may have seen the title and thought, the hell are you on about by Purple Day? Like, is this even a thing? Are you making this up? I'm not making this up. This is a real day, and the reason I'm wanting to make a video on it is because it is a day that is celebrated nationally in this country every single year. I don't think it's this day every year. It comes round, and it seems like it comes around on a different day every year. But yeah, it's celebrated every single year in this country for the condition known as epilepsy, which I have had for 8 years now, and that is the reason why I wanted to make a video on it, because I've had it for so long, and I'm aware that there are people out there that are still getting diagnosed with the condition. There are people out there that don't even know about the condition, and I feel like it's such an important day for people with the condition and for people who don't know about it, because it's a great opportunity to let people know what it entails, and to let people know who have the condition or just got diagnosed with it that, hey, it's not all doom and gloom. You are like everyone else. Just believe in yourself. And that's what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about my personal experiences with the condition, having it for 8 years, and what you can do to, battle it, if you will. So I'm going to go back to when I was first diagnosed in year 6. I always forget the year, but that's how I know it was 8 years, because it was in year 6, and I've been in education for 5 years in secondary school, and this will be my 4th year in college, but I haven't completed it yet, so it's still 8 years. I was diagnosed in year 6, and I always forget whether it was towards the end of year 6 or the beginning. But what I do remember is waking up one morning, and I was doing a bit of work because I left it till last minute, naughty me. And I went to the toilet because I was feeling pretty ill. And I do remember, excuse my details here, but I do remember throwing up. And after that, I blanked out. I don't remember anything after that. And the doctors put it down to me just being ill. 2 weeks later, the same thing happened again. And you've got to remember, even with, technology and science evolving over the years, 50% of epilepsy cases, not just my kind of epilepsy, but in general, half the cases, the causes of the condition, it's unknown at this point. And that's another reason, why I think I should bring this up, because a lot of people who know me think, oh, epilepsy is just what I've got, it's just what I have to deal with. But there are so many types of epilepsy that, it just needs raising awareness of. I couldn't name you half of them because there's so many. I'd have to get a website up or something, which I don't have a laptop or anything near me right now. But yeah, they put it down as epilepsy 2 weeks after I had the original seizure. It took them, 2 weeks to realise. And I had to have another seizure for them to actually realise, yeah, you weren't ill, you actually have epilepsy. And it's weird, because back then, you've got to remember, I was younger as well, and I didn't really understand everything that was going. I was going into secondary school, I was doing my SATs. It was big time for me, and having this on top of it, I didn't really know what to make of it. I think at the time I was shocked, confused, but I was also like, it's a thing. But when I got into secondary school, a few months into it, I had another seizure, and I was out of school for, I think it was about a week, and I had to let everyone know what happened, and including, the infamous bullies that are always going to be in school and in general life. And I got bullied a lot. And I mean a lot. I got called so, not just Specky Four Eyes and all that, because it's just generic. But, I was told that, I looked like I bet it looked like I was breakdancing on the floor, and, like, I bet it looks like you're shivering in the cold and all that, and it's not nice. It's not nice, especially when these people don't even know what the condition's like. And I had to deal with that for a good 3 years in secondary school, in Darlington, because it got to a point where I was bullied so bad that I just didn't want to go into school. I didn't, and I actually was one of the rare people that enjoyed school. There was a few, it was an outlet for me, if you will. I didn't like staying at home and thinking about the condition. I could go into school and focus on things and talk to friends. And it got to a point in year 9 where it was so bad, and my dad was struggling for work, so we had to move to Nottingham. And this is where it got difficult for me even more, because at that point I'd established a lot of friends, I'd established a lot of close connections with people, and I felt comfortable. I felt like I had dealt with my condition pretty well up to that point. But then I had to move, and I had to make new friends, and I had to fit into a new area, which was a city, a massive city, Nottingham. A lot bigger than where I was from in Darlington, because it's only a tiny town in Durham, County Durham, I should say. And it's scary. It was very scary. I wasn't used to the kind of surroundings I had. I wasn't used to how confident people were around me. I wasn't used to the lingo they were speaking either. I didn't know, when they were saying, all right, duck, and all that. I didn't know if they were mocking me. At first. You've got to remember, I'm not from here. I had to adjust to that. So anything they said, I took as, what's the word? I took as an odd thing, if you will. I can't think of the word right now. I'm not even doing this with a script. It's better. I always feel like doing these kind of videos is better speaking from the heart, because I'm only going to tell the truth. If I'm just reading from a script or glancing at something, I don't feel it's going to be as truthful. But yeah, I moved here and I had to adjust to it again, and my confidence went real down. And I only had 2 years in secondary school here, so it kind of went bye, and yeah, it went. And I got to the end of year 11, and I realised that there was only one thing, or there's two things in my life that are massive outlets for me, to not get me thinking about it. But the one main thing was acting, that I absolutely loved it. I relished it. It was the one thing, like one lesson in school that I actually got fairly good grades in. I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't the only lesson that I passed at. I just did exceptionally well compared to other lessons, and I realised I've been doing this since year 4. Maybe this, and I've always enjoyed it, and maybe this is a good way to channel my struggles, if you will, into something else. And so I looked around at the end of year 11 at colleges that were doing these kind of courses, and I looked at NCN and I applied for level 3, and because my confidence was so low, I just couldn't do the audition. It was unlike me. And the same thing happened with level 2. I started well, but I froze, and I had to go from level 1 up to level 3, which is where I am now, and I'm working at really good grades. So I think it just goes to show that even if, from the beginning your confidence is shot, there's always some way of rebuilding yourself to where you want to be. I'm back where I wanted to be. And that's basically the full story of what it was like growing up with epilepsy. It was difficult. It was odd, because again, I didn't even know about the illness. Like I said, science and technology were quite different back then. And I didn't know what the illness was. I had no idea what it was. My mum didn't know what it was. My mum knew of it because my mum's sister had it. And someone on our road actually had the illness as well. So that kind of made me feel more comfortable. I knew I could talk to her about it. But we had no clue. We were completely clueless, and that made it even more scary. It was diving into the deep end, if you will. But growing up, I've got used to it, and I've learned to realize that it's going to sound cliche, but I'm going to say it, that illnesses don't make you weaker, they actually make you stronger. Honestly, they do. Because you can take the mick out of your own illness and, you know, inform people about how funny it is actually, and I think just that's the big thing as well, informing other people about it. It makes you feel important. You know, you're actually making people realise what these illnesses are about, and they're looking into it, and that can only mean good things for the illnesses itself developing and uniting people around the world, which is what this day is about. You know, there was a quote I read the other day about disabled actors, and it was something along the lines of disability shouldn't define me. It should only make me stronger, and it's absolutely true. I mean, I think if I didn't even mention the fact that I had epilepsy, people probably wouldn't even know that I did, because I'm just an average guy. I say average. People who know me, that's probably far from different. But I'm just an adult, you know, 20 years of age. I know I don't look it, but yes, I am 20 years of age. You know, I go to college, I have friends, I eat, I drink, I go out occasionally. I play games, I watch TV, I watch sport. I'm just a general human being. You know, what's in there shouldn't define what I am as a person, you know. And that's another thing as well about epilepsy, because it's a mental illness. Sometimes people don't realise what it's actually like having it, and that's why there's a lot of questions asked about it. But my advice to people who on this day are celebrating it, and you know, who have just been diagnosed, who know someone who's been diagnosed, talk to them about it. It's honestly, talking to people about anything is helpful, but when you've got an illness and you can actually share that with someone, and it makes you feel respected, it makes you feel more like someone else. Because again, like I said, I didn't feel like everyone else when I was diagnosed. But the more I started to open up to people, the more I started to realise, hey, I'm just like this person. I'm just talking to this person. They can respect me. They can respect that I have an illness. And you will get people who are dicks. Excuse my language, but you will get people like that. And you've just got... The sad reality of life is, even if you don't have an illness, there's going to be people like that out there, you know, who feed off taking the mick out of someone, or feed off people who struggle. Because without that, the world wouldn't go round, sadly. But my advice to you is just, you're different to them. Even without the illness, you are different to them. It's jealousy. It's all it is. You are unique in your own way, and with an illness, you are even more unique. You know, I like to think of it as a superpower in a way. You know, I know that sounds really bizarre, but I'm unique in my own... I was already unique compared to, you know, my brother when I was born, and I'm even more unique from him now because I've got an illness. You know, that makes me one of a kind in my family. So, you know, use it as a positive in as many ways as you can. It's easy to get down on the sadness of it, the loneliness aspect, the will I ever recover aspect. But when you get accustomed to the illness, you'll start to realise that life is that bit more forgiving. And there are people out there that will accept you for who you are. Just remember that. And that's really it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to check out places like Epilepsy Action. Just search Purple Day on Twitter. It was actually trending earlier, so awesome. They do amazing work, Epilepsy Action, for the UK. And please, just try and research it, look into it, because like I said, it's not going away, and the more people that know about it, the more people with epilepsy will feel more comfortable with having it. So thanks for sticking with me for, God, this has gone on for 15 minutes. My God, I ramble. So yeah, thanks for sticking with me for 15 minutes or so. Hope you all enjoy Mother's Day, like I said earlier, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.